Hey, welcome back to my channel, Hilltop Homegrown. I'm John. I got my daughter Tasha here today. We're doing the 18-day compost pile. And what we did is, to start out, we got some grass cut clippings, we got manure, we got sawdust. And what we're doing is 4 buckets of carbon and 2 buckets of green per layer. And then we wet it down in between. The tank video I already shared. I got the tank full of water there, and we're just going to put that bucket in the middle, and we're just going to do it in layers and wet it every other layer. As we layer it, you want to put water in there. We put it in the middle. This wire is a little bigger than we like. We really like to have a 2x3. But we're going to just be real easy and try to get it to go straight up as best we can, and level it out as we go up, and hopefully it'll work out. There's some of my honeybees flying around from up around the corner. I got my apiary. But again, I watched this video from Perma Pasture Farms, Billy, and I think his son's name's William, down in North Carolina. I'm going to put that grass in there and do the same thing, sis, and then we'll do the sawdust. They do this video. William was over at Australia and learned this procedure way I understand. But you should check out their channel. I found him through a buddy of mine in North Carolina, Justin Metcalf with Metcalf Mills, and so we're kind of go out a little more to the edge, just to the wire. So we're going to get on this, and we'll take you through the procedure. Next, now the green and the manure, horse manure, is considered a green. So I've had my horse manure here. I picked it up a couple weeks ago. It's still got some heat in it, but I figure we put some grass clipping in, it'll help with the heat and getting it to activate. So we'll get at it, and we'll just bring you along. Thanks for being here. Well, it'll go down through. Now she's got to run over to the woodshed, the sawdust room, and get some more sawdust. I was gonna set it up closer over there, but I got a half gravel driveway, so I didn't want to put it up on the gravel. So I'm gonna do another one of these, but I'm gonna try to pick up some chicken wire and wrap this with chicken wire on the outside to help keep it in. But she was off today and was willing to help, so we thought we would take advantage of it. I think I might have to figure out a pump system just to have a little pressure, which this is working all right. You don't want it too wet where it's running out of the bottom, but these chips are pine from my wood shop that I do bee boxes with. I build honey boxes and beehives. That's pretty much all we do in our shop is pine. And I have a CNC computerized router. Sometimes I'll do a piece of oak or something, but I try not to do any other wood because we have farmers that come and get the sawdust for their horses, and you can't have walnut in the wood chips. Walnut wood hurts horses, so we kind of strictly, when we have to plane walnut, we put it through a single bagger and then we dispose of it separate. We don't put it in the sawdust room. So I think she's on her way back. We'll fill up a couple more buckets and we'll keep going. Good. Now some of it's going to fall out, but I don't think it's enough. It's going to affect our composting. I did get my composting thermometer, which I did not bring that down because usually it takes about 4 to 5 days to start to activate. And then at the end of this, we'll actually tarp it. We're going to use 2 buckets at this time, sis, not grass. So I'm definitely wetting the sawdust every layer because it's the driest. And it's gonna, go ahead. And every so often, I don't know if we're feeling the heat in that manure yet or not. But we're gonna wet some of that too, obviously. And it's going to go down through the sawdust and get on the manure that's down below that we didn't. But the grass is green. She had just, normally we don't bag our grass, but my other daughter Erica's got a push mower here, and it had a bagger that her grandma gave her. And she ain't got it home yet, so we took advantage of it. So thanks, Erica, for leaving that. Your sister was able to mow with it. Okay. Go right back to sawdust. So the grass is a good carbon. Obviously, we're not going to mow the whole grass. I have a 0 turn that we can mow our yard in about 11 minutes total. So it'd take us a few hours if we push mowed the whole thing, which has been done at my house many times. We had some breakdowns, and all we had was a push mower. So they we always had a walk behind when the kids was home, and when the kids left, the last one moved out last year. My wife and I this year, we bought a 0 turn commercial because in the beginning of the year I'm super busy with bees, and we really don't have a whole lot of time. She works in the oil field, my wife does, so she comes home 6, 7 o'clock at night. she don't want to come home and mow, which I don't blame her. So we needed something that we could mow fast with. So we decided to get a 0 turn, and we got one in the commercial line, so we got a big one. And we use it for everything. It's hooked to the trailer that the grass clippings are hooked on. We got a hitch on it. We use it for everything around the property. Hauling wood, grass clippings, dirt, mowing, just about everything, gardening, hauling stone, just about everything. Is that bucket 4, Tosh?
This one will be.
Okay. Next layer we'll put grass clippings in. So as you can see, I think it's starting to build up. Like I said, we are losing a little bit out of the side, but mainly it's the carbon. But I think we're putting enough carbon in there to make up the difference. It's doing about 2 layers each load. And a lot of people do it shovel by shovel. I just watched another YouTube channel and they used buckets. So as long as the mixture's right, it should be okay. Hopefully we're gonna work on the greenhouse, the hoop house this weekend. The kids are coming over for a cookout. Probably smoke some meat on the grill, on the pellet smoker, and have family time and dig some holes and work on the hoop house. And the kids are all busy too. So my son, he's down in Louisiana. He's been down there for 6 weeks so far. He's down there working. He's a lineman. He's installing power down there from Ida, and so we kind of miss him a little bit. And my brother-in-law, he's down there with my son. They work at the same company together. They're contractors. So I got some projects for the weld shop, but we gotta wait for him. My welder and stuff is at his house because can't have a welder and torches at my shop because of the sawdust. We tried that. It didn't work out for us. So kind of on a hill a little bit, and I keep watching the ground to see if water's coming out, but I think the manure's soaking it up, and the grass is just mowed a couple 20-30 minutes ago, so it ain't soaking nothing up. It's pretty green. I think if I had a little pressure where this actually sprinkled, I could wet it a lot better and get it to, you don't want to pack it. But I think if it was wet, it would stay formed better. So I thought maybe I'll wet it first and then spread it out a little bit. Maybe I can get it to... And the stuff that falls out, we're just going to sweep up, rake up, and put on top. Once it's actually starting, as it starts to build up, it's packing and staying in. But what don't stay in, we'll just rake and put back in on top. Go ahead and get that other bucket, sis. Give me 2 buckets of manure. And if this don't heat up, there's a couple different things could be wrong. You know, in 4 to 5 days, it don't come up to temperature. It could be not wet enough. The carbon mixture could be wrong. Now, I'm sure it's going to take me a couple. This is the first one I've done where I'm trying to do it quick, so that's why I relied on some videos. But and maybe I'll get lucky and it works the first time. I don't know. If they should be smaller layers, skinnier layers. I watch another homesteader, and I apologize, I'm not sure. I watch so many videos. I follow a lot of different people because I like doing things myself and not hire it out. So if I've not done it before, I YouTube it and go from there. But he did it with 2 buckets at a time. 2 buckets of 1 bucket, 2 bucket, 1 bucket. And but he had a little bit of compost, and it's good if you have compost already, that every so often you put a layer, just sprinkle a little bit of compost and on top when you turn it, or as you're building it, and it helps activate the heat. See, I watered that a good bit, but look at all the dry. Once I flip it or start spreading out, there's a lot of dry, so it's not near wet enough. So we go back and put some more water on her. Now we're going to cover this up. We're supposed to get some rain, and we don't want it over wet because too much water won't help. So there's a fine line on we've already used 25 gallons of water, and it's not quite half. So yeah, we've used about 35 gallons, about 90 gallons left in the tank. Now my room was full of sawdust all the way to the ceiling, so I needed to find something to do with it anyway. I ain't advertised this since we put the room up to the farmers, because I also, in the winter time, we use a cook stove, a wood fire cook stove, to heat our house and to cook with. And I use the wood chips, and my son and I built a eco bio brick press that we press our own bricks, sawdust bricks. And I'll do a video on that when we start. We don't usually start that until mid-October or so. I'll bring the press out and set the water tank up. We use shredded paper and wood chips, these chips. We mix it up in a cement mixture to get our mixture right, and then we press it. That was number 4.
No, it was number 3.
No, I put one. So that's number 4. So we'll show a video of me making the bricks, and then maybe in the winter we'll show in our cook stove in the house. My kitchen is gutted. I got kitchen cabinets to put in and stuff, and we're redoing the kitchen. We tore some walls out, and we actually found the old chimney behind the wall, and we was able to tap in and hook up the wood stove. This will be our 3rd year using a wood-fired cook stove to heat the house and to cook on. I don't know if I explained this. The reason I went with this diameter is 3 foot by 3 foot, whether it's round, or I guess you could do a 3 foot by 3 foot square with pallets. But for this to work like it should, you need at least a cubic yard and or more to work right, I guess I should say. I guess if it was smaller, it would take a little longer maybe. But all the research I've done, a cubic yard, at least a cubic yard is a magic number. I always like when the kids come over, for one, to teach them something new, but just being able, since they all moved out, being able to do a project with them. And I didn't tell her we was going to work in horse poop until she got here, so sometimes you tell them too much information they don't show. But all the way up. It'll shrink probably by next week. When we go to flip it, it'll be down probably this full.
Flip it.
We have to take it apart when we flip it. After 4 or 5 days, it should be up to, internal temperature should be like 140 to 160 if it's working right. And then once it hits that, every 2 days you flip it. So we'll flip it and then flip it back. 18 days, it'll be compost. So every 2 days, we will flip it.
How do you flip them?
With shovels. And every morning you show up. We won't see her for a week. At least 18 days. At least 18 days. What Bill and William said, it should take about 18 minutes, 20 minutes to flip with 2 hard workers. So it'll probably take us a half hour.
Because of you.
Hopefully by then I can find my pitchfork. Since we don't have horses no more. We used to have horses when my daughter Bailey was here. Home we had a bunch of animals, cows, and we will be getting chickens here again. But now we have to resource out our horse manure, but we actually found somebody local that was having trouble getting rid of it. Most people around here think horse crap's gold, so they charge you for it. But we found a lady local that we could have all we wanted. She had I think she has 2 years supply. So we've taken advantage, and we've hauled three dump loads already. And as she gets it, she's going to call us, and we're going to take it off her hands for composting purposes. I got a buddy of mine, lives local, has got a bigger greenhouse, and he wants to do compost. So he was busy today. He wanted to come over and see how we did this. Good. But he was busy today. So we're going to do another one, so I'll probably do it with him to show him how we do it. But hopefully I can get to town and get some chicken wire to wrap around and make it a little easier for stuff falling out. Chicken wire is obviously way cheaper than the woven wire, fence wire. So I'm definitely going to use what was given to me, and then I'll just get some chicken wire and put around it. This ain't too bad. It ain't as much falling out as I thought it would. But once it's wet and compact, yeah, I think we'll be all right. Good thing we're getting close. We're down to about 60, 70 gallons of water. Well, I think that'll do it. This is our pile. We'll come back in a few days. We'll check the temperature, and we'll bring you back, and we'll do probably a couple series of a few days in a row flipping, so we're not posting a video every day we flip. We'll do like maybe the first 3, and then another 3, and then another 3. That way we can keep an eye on the temperature and all that stuff. But like I said, I'll put a tarp over this here in a little bit, and yeah, I want to thank you for stopping by and watching. And I want to thank Tasha for coming and helping me today. And until next time, I'm John at Hilltop Homegrown. Thank you.